I'm back. Not sure how long for. I'm just doing some bulk filming at the moment while I've got some time on my hands. But yeah, things are a little bit hectic here at the moment, and well, what's new? But yeah, so I'm doing a video that I should have done last week, and you know, the weather were great and all that lot, and we're busy, so yeah, I never got around to it. But I have this. What I'm going to show you today was a fun project that I did. I know, guys, I did it without you. But then I also have a video coming up on this. I have been in contact with BB Crafts and we are collaborating again. And then, well, I can't actually really even show you, but well, I can if I cover that up. I was going to say I can't actually show you this because there's addresses all over it. I can if I cover that up. Yeah, I've got a bubble envelope here. But in this envelope is a very special journal from a very special person. So that's coming up as well. And then I have a mail time. And I think that's about it for the time being. I do have another collaboration, not with BB Crafts, but I do have another collaboration. I was contacted by a sister site of BB Crafts asking if I would like to collaborate with them. So, of course, I said yes. But yeah, so I've given them the shipping, like mailing information they need, and given them the product codes to the things that I said I would like to try for them. And yeah, so that'll take a bit of time, but you know, so I'm excited about that. But yeah, so in the meantime, let's get to this. I say exciting projects, it's probably not that exciting, but I did a batch of tea dyeing. We have been having amazing weather here in the UK for a few weeks now, and it is still set to continue for a few weeks, although today it's raining. Boo. Although I say boo, but actually yay, because we need it to cool down a bit. It's just been too hot. But yeah, so a few cool days in between are appreciated right now. But yeah, so I have been tea dyeing and I've got some quite fun results because I did quite a few different methods. The tea dyeing was the same method, what I call dip and dry. I have an old baking tray outside. It's only about that thick, that deep. I put coffee in it and I put it in, smush it, turn it over, let it drip, and then put it to one side. Oh, sorry guys, my phone's ringing. Yeah, sorry, just spam caller. But yeah, I have previous videos on how I do my bog standard tea dyeing. Like I said, I just have it in a tray and then put it in, smush it, turn it over, take it out, drip it, you know, let it drip a bit and then put it to one side. And then I tend to layer things as you see here in the box. So like that one's that way, that one's that way, so that goes that way, that goes that way, and then I'll kind of layer them side by side, and then I turn one, and that sort of thing. Just makes it a little bit easier for them to dry. Well, easier and quicker to dry. But I had a bit of a play. I did some normal tea dyeing, and then I had a bit of an experiment. The week before, over the weekend, I can't even remember what day it is now, I've just lost a complete week, literal a full week. I bought a picnic bench, a wooden picnic bench like you'd see in parks. Yeah, I bought a wooden picnic bench, and of course with it being wood and tea dyeing, I thought, I really like the wood grain effect, which I do. I love wood grain effect. So guess what? I put my picnic bench to use. And after I'd wet the paper, I put it face down on the picnic bench and kind of smushed it. And I got some fairly interesting results from that. These are all mixed. Because I did loads of different dyeing that day. I did literally about 4, maybe 5 hours of just tea dyeing papers in different ways. And then it took like about 2.5 days to dry them all. But then what I did, I've done this before as well in other videos. I've used my own digi kits from my jelly prints. When I did my jelly printing, I've video on the show and tell of them kits, and the printouts that I show in that video I used to help me get these effects, and all I did was wet those with the tea. I was using a paintbrush. On some of them I just used a paintbrush, if you know, and then I laid that down, and then I just laid normal paper over the top and got some very interesting results from that. As I said, I then just did some normal tea dyeing, got some lined paper, some plain paper with a few spots on, because I have a pizza dish thing that I just laid on top. Again, some lined paper, some colour transfer there from other papers. Yeah, so another wood grain one. I'm just going to flick through these quickly because I need to go out soon. Another one with very faint, I don't know if it's going to show up with the lighting, but some very faint colouring in there. I'm not quite, this is obviously where another sheet's been laid on it. There's been 2 sheets on that. There's been a smaller sheet that way and then a bigger one that way on that one. So I really like that 2-tone effect, that's cool. And then we've got some lined paper here with some blue on, because that's come off this print that I did with the bubble wrap when I was jelly printing. And then we've got the smaller bubble wrap here. I laid some doilies on top as well. Oh no, actually I think that's part of the actual print, but I did do some doilies as well. Yeah, so that was another one of the printouts as well that I used to get the colour bleed. I love these. This is, or was, squared paper. You can barely even see that. I don't know if you even can, but you can barely see it. There are still some squares on there. Very faint, but yeah. So, and then I got some more ones. This was another one done on the bench. This is one, like I said, with the pizza pan just sat on top, so I've got the holes coming through. That's another one of the prints that I used to get the colour bleed from. Again, another one with the bench. I love that bench. Just some lined papers. I love the way they crinkle. Again, some colour. I love the colours in this. And I don't mind these ripples. I could have ironed that when it were drying to stop it doing that, but I don't mind them. I quite like them. I think it adds character. Some very faint circles on there from the pizza pan. You can see an indent from, well, a print from when something's been laid on top of it. This one got ripped, but I'm not bothered. I could still use it for tags. That's, again, another jelly print. This was one that I laid on top. Again, another squared one. One that I laid on top to... Actually, it's not a square one. I'm just saying it's not big enough to be a square one. So this has been sat on top of the square paper. The squared papers are wider. So that's actually been sat on top of the square paper and taken the bleed from the squared paper as well. Oh, cool. I hadn't noticed that before. But yeah, and then like I said, some more bleeds. Just some plain ones. I love them all, honestly. I did loads. Yeah, another print, and I love it, you know, the prints that you use, if they're really high intensity in colour, you still get some colour left. It just really tones them down, and then some of them, you know, it keeps the colour as well, but tones it down. It's great. I love it. I love this method. Yeah, so I had lots of fun. Yeah, here are the squared papers. Yeah, so the other papers have actually taken the print from this as well, with it being blue. The squares on these are blue. But yeah, another one done on the bench. Just another one. I'm loving the colours of the lined papers as well. They took colour really well when I laid them on. Again, another bench one. That's another actual print. And of course, by using my own prints to do these, some of these I can scan. But yeah, so well chuffed. Again, the holes in there from the pizza pan, and then there is some like hexagon shapes in there from these that I use to lay them on, and I've also got a DigiKit anyway, you guys know about, with the hexagon prints where I did that. That's been a colour one, a plain one, pardon me, another colour one. I'm loving these. Yeah, that was an actual print of the jelly, of the jelly prints. But yeah, so loving it. And then I did some smaller lined pages that have got the hexagon print on from that, and then I did again some smaller ones. Some of these are not as tea dyed because I didn't wet them first, I just laid them on top and then put other ones on top of them, so, but I'm not bothered about that. Nice print there. Taken some colour there. Nice printing on there. Colours. Some print there. Again there. These took that print really well. And the thing that I love about the tea dyeing is there's no smell to it. So, you know, I've said before about doing coffee dyeing, and for some reason, I don't know, when I do my own, I don't like the smell of it. But with tea dyeing, there's no smell at all. Then I did some book pages from my glue book. This is my glue book that I use, and it's a Sense and Sensibility one. Not that it matters, but I thought, yeah, I'll just do some tea dyeing on those as well. Didn't really make much difference. I did some music papers, but again, some of those didn't really make much of a difference. They are a little bit more aged looking on the edges, but it didn't really dye them like I expected it to. Maybe I hadn't left them in long enough because it was really hot, so, you know, I mean, it has taken on some, just not as well as I thought. That one didn't do too bad, but I think that's more colour bleed than tea. That one didn't do so bad, and I've got some of the hexagon print in there as well. That one pretty much didn't do anything, although they were a little bit whiter than that. That got a little bit, I like that, that looks more authentic. Yeah, this one took a little bit, again though I think it was more colour bleed than tea. Again with the book pages, they didn't really take too much either. I would go with some more lined papers. That looks very authentic. I like that. Like I said, they took them prints really well. Some more of the lined paper. Not lined paper, squared paper, sorry. There you go, some with the bleed, some with the hexagon print on as well. I'm just loving it all. Love the crunch of it all as well. Some colour. These are going to be great, just folding out and popping journals, or use as tag bases or tag backgrounds. The backgrounds, I mean backing tags with. They're just going to be awesome. So awesome. That's got a major crease in it there, but I'm not bothered about that either. Probably end up cutting it off at some point, but it can still be used. Some more lined paper. I'm telling you, this box is never ending. Yeah, I've still got a fair bit to get through. This one I like because you've got like a piece of paper there, a little bit there, a bigger piece there, and then when I were having a brew at the time and didn't just put my cup down, but the cup was on the paper before I dyed it. So that stayed even after it had been dyed and had all sorts of other stuff on, which were really cool. Yeah, so there we go with the plain papers. This again was one of the kit pages. Some lined paper. Another, oh, that's a bleed, is that one. This one looks more dirty than anything, but yeah, cool. This is a nice blue. I'm loving the blue ones. There's some really intense blue ones in some of these, which will be good in like a sea stroke mermaid or something themed journal, which I will get around to doing one of these days. This is, you can see the pizza pan impression a little bit more here. Instead of laying these on the pan, I put the pan on them so the sun was beaming down through the holes in it. Yeah, so I've got this awesome spotty effect, which is cool. Yeah, got that one. And these were like brilliant white sheets of paper. Well, not brilliant white, but almost white. So you can tell the difference. Although they don't look as though much has been done to them, when you get them next to each other where it hasn't taken, you can tell the difference. That was another kit page. Yep. I'll tell you something though. Oh my gosh, did I suffer for it the day after. Wow. My back was killing me. Getting too out for this. I love all this. It's gorgeous. Even those would do great in a sea stroke mermaidy theme journal. I think, oh, I actually stood on that by accident, so it's got a tiny little bit of imprint on my shoe on there. And it's that again there. It's picked up some of the squared paper on the other side. So yeah, cool. That was on the bench. You can see the slats there where it's kind of not done anything in the middle, and then that was where, and also what I did with the bench, again another one where I stood on it, what I did with the bench as well, the top part of the, like the table part of the bench, I painted it with with tea before I put the papers on as well. So even though the papers were wet with tea, I'd already painted the bench as well. So I mean, it's wood, it's right, you know. That's one of the kit pages as well. You can just barely see the doily imprint on there, which I really like that. And that was also one of the kit pages too. There's the other one, another kit page. I love that one. That one has an all in middle, I'm not bothered about that. Again, one where I laid it on the bench. Some pizza pan stuff. I think that's another kit page. Yeah, that's another kit page. There are squares on that, but that'll be where I've put a squared piece of paper on top. So it's a kit page, but also the kit page is taken on the imprint from the squared paper. And I love this one. This were a bubble wrap one. This is a kit page too. Look at the colours on that. That is awesome. Where are we at? Right, yeah, another one here on the bench. I did the tabletop of the bench, and I also laid them out on the two seats at either side as well. Hence why you've got some going that way and then some going that way. I made full use of the bench, trust me. Yeah, so there we are. We are coming to the end of it now. This was a kit page. That's taken on some of the imprint from the mats that I use. Yeah, but I had such a fun day. It was tiring, and I suffered for it later, but I had such a fun day. And as I said, all these greeny, turquoisey, bluey ones are going to get put to one side to use. Like, that's a kit page as well. Potentially use in a sea-themed, mermaidy style, whatever, oceanic type journal. That's where I've had a smaller piece on top of it there. And that's where it's just come through the back. But yeah, I love these. They almost kind of look like we've used like sprays on them. You know, like the distress sprays that I've just got. Looks like I've been using them on them, and I haven't. Like I said, you can just get these if you've got printouts that have really high intensity colours in them. That's a kit page. You can get some really awesome prints off them. That's picked up the squares from the squared paper as well. And we are almost at the end, guys. Some more music paper, some more book pages. These will just be used for bases on tags. Another one of those with the matte imprint. That hasn't really done much, it just looks dirty. We'll colour that with different things anyway. Another book page, another square page, and then last but not least, another square page with part of an imprint from the kit. But yeah, so there we are, guys. All that crunchiness and yumminess, and I can't wait to use it. And then that's just an empty Amazon box where I layered 2 mats in the bottom, and this is what I was doing. Not when they were wet, as they were drying and I was taking them off the top, I was laying them on there and then bundling it up, and then after a while I'd get my hands under and I'd flip them over, that sort of thing. So yeah, there you go, guys. So that is like 1 day's worth of dyeing in a very intense heat wave. Yeah, so it was major fun, and I do intend on doing more, but right now I've got enough going on. Well, I've got enough here to be getting on with, and I've got other things to be getting on with as well behind the scenes, as well as all these extra videos that I need to do. Life goes on. So yeah, anyway, there we go, guys, and it is... I'm actually going to try and get this video up today. It is 9:57 AM on Monday the 14th of June. And as I said, I will try and get this video up. Well, I will get it up today. It might be probably later this afternoon or tea time, because I have stuff to do. Places to go, people to see and all that palaver. But yeah, so anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye!